All right, well, I haven't done a thing update in a while, so I thought I'd shoot a little video. A lot of times I'll run into something and I won't remember what I did, and I can look back at the video and see, but I've been doing a bunch of work. It's winter time. The front is pretty much dialed in now. Reset all the straps, all the suspension up front. These pedals were too far over to the right. They were about 3 inches over. Like if you look, this is a big metal plate here. And I ended up making a new plate and then moved all the pedals over about 3 inches. And then got in here and covered up some of the holes that were in here and sealed it up and painted it. Checked all the heim joints up front. They were good. There was one of the lines, this line here had a solid line that went through here, and there was a chunk hanging out here, and when it would cycle over the jumps, it was almost cutting through. So I sectioned this off, cut that, and then I put a 2 feet steel braided line and it wraps around there. And when it goes up and down, it doesn't stretch. The movement is back here, and these don't do anything. So that's all dialed in. Got the paddle tires out. I still haven't used them yet, but hopefully next year I can. I put them on to see if I could cycle it all the way up, and you have to put these spacers on down here to get it out far enough, but I'll just put a note around there to put them on beforehand. I've been moving around. I put the shovel up here, and I put the 4-way up here. It was back here. And then I put the flashlight up here because that's something that you want to grab pretty quick. Got this side, the door bars, this side's done, welded in. And then the seat is bolted back in. Steering wheel's clean. The cut brake, which is right here, I extended it and moved it back a little bit. It looks like it's in the way of shifting, but it's not. When you sit in there, it's just perfect. And then the pedals, you can't tell, but they're right where they need to be now. It's all welded up. Got a fresh piece of carpet there. On that side, I've got that's where all the brake lines and some of the wires are. I got that covered up. What else? I think that's about it inside. I'll show you the other side real quick. It's nice having this all cleaned up. Let's see, this side, this bar's done. This bar's welded, and then this one is not welded yet. So what I'm going to do is I want to get it sitting with the engine and everything on it before I weld this last one in case it tweaks a little bit. It should move, but I'm going to weld this last, and then I'll paint it, and then I'll put the seat back in, and then I got a piece of carpet for that. That's about it inside. Didn't do a lot of work inside. I did run new brake lines. No, front brake lines and then a rear clutch line. It was looking a little bit worn. And then the back is where I've been doing all the work. These big ass heim joints. I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you probably can't see that, but you can hear it. They're just wore out. Unfortunately, they're $70 a pop, and there's 4 of them. And then I'm doing a poor man's alignment. Some of you might know how to do this. Basically, you take these little things here and you bolt it up, and then you can see your measurements in the front and compare them to the back. And on these for off-road, this setup's got adjustable. This one's new, and that's the new one I got put in. And you can adjust everything back here. And if you can adjust it, you set them anywhere from an 1/8 to a 1/4 inch toe in. And I thought I would check them because I got to take all that off and put it back on and then recheck it. So I thought I'd check it, and sure enough, it was an 1/8 inch toe in, maybe in between an 1/8 and a 1/4. So it was, after all the beating and jumping this thing's gotten, it was still set right. But this one here now, it's good and tight. And then that one back there, you can hear it moving around, and all that will be fixed. And then I've been going over the brakes. That's a new hat. I've got another one coming from over there. I've got new rotors. I managed to eat up a set of rotors in a year and a half. I don't know if you can see it, but they're beat. This is half of the caliper. And while you have them apart, you can actually fine tune this thing and get it centered. So this little section here should be centered with the rotor. And when I put it on, it was about 3/4 of the way over. So I did a little welding, a little grinding, and now it's these things are just dialed in perfect. So fresh set of pads on them. And then I'm going to cut these studs down and then change, instead of using these goofy things, I'm going to have a lug nut like this. And then they make a nice cover that covers all of this. So it'll be all finished out looking. Got that ordered. And then the engine, it's ready to go in. Clutch is all ready. I strengthened these motor mounts up and welded them so they're bolted on and ready to go. It's that side. And then this one's a little goofy looking, but and what I'll do is I'll set it on there, and then these will get welded to the frame. Speckles is on. Say hi. Hi, Speckles. Let's see what else. And then there's the other halves of the, this is what it looks like when you tear your calipers all apart. Took the pistons out. They were kind of scraped up a little bit, sticking a little bit. I think that's what wore them rotors out. Plus the rotors weren't set right. So these all work really smooth. And then they come with, the kit comes, you get new O-rings, this teeny little guy, and 4 of these. And then I'm switching it. The old brake pads use these up top. It goes in between here and it holds the pads in. And they just know you can't find these things anymore. So I'm switching over to the newer version, which is just a cotter pin. So I got cotter pins coming. What else? This is the old engine that was in it. I might rebuild it. The kit's pretty cheap. Be kind of fun to rebuild it. What else? I think that's about it. I put some, this is hard, this kind of rubber stuff in here. I put that in there just to keep some of the crap from flying in when you're going along in all the dirt. Other than that, I think that's about it. It'll be nice having brand new rotors and having the calipers all set right. This brake actually worked really good. This brake didn't work so good. And then this one, I had to do a lot of work on it. It was wearing funny, but if you see that gap now, this gap in here, it was like half of it was shut and half of it was open, and that just doesn't work well. It needed fixed. And then this hat's getting replaced. Oh, and this bearing is shot, completely shot. That one, that bearing over there I put on, so it's only about a year old. And then this one, it was growling, so I've got a new one coming, so I'll get it replaced. I think I'm going to paint that metal black back there. But that's about it. This little cheap welder works pretty good. Been welding the heck out of everything. It's gasless. It's not as good as a good MIG welder, but and I found out the seats are carbon fiber seats. They don't weigh much at all. Dirty. Not very comfortable. You sit in them. You don't sit on them. You sink down in them. Anyhow, that's about it. Everything's done up here. Checked all the wiring. I'm gonna add a couple lights here and there, but oh well. See ya.